C5 Corvette wobbly window woes? Well, don't worry. I'm gonna get you fixed up. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know my videos have been kind of sparse. I got a new position at work, which is a good thing. It's more responsibility, but more pay. I actually gotta kind of dress up now too. Totally off topic, but a coworker got me this cool little Batman helmet at the movie theater. I love Batman. Not a fan of Marvel comics, so if you like Marvel comics, I apologize. Anyways, so I've been doing some work on the C5Z. A lot of the stuff I'm doing right now has been done to death on the YouTubes, from window regulators, some sound installations, some speakers, some other miscellaneous stuff. It's not that exciting. But while doing all this stuff, I totally learned the anatomy of the C5 windows and the regulators and how the window attaches. And I found the perfect way to make these windows nice and tight, no more wobbly situations. I've noticed a lot of times on YouTube videos or any how-to in any Google search, it'll tell you, not necessarily of C5, but a lot of windows that are similar, how to adjust the window height. And it's simply incorrect. By adjusting the window height incorrectly, you can get wobbly windows. That's one of the reasons why you get wobbly windows, and I'll show you the other. Long story short, I ordered a new window regulator just to take out any variable that it could be why my driver window had a little to it and I couldn't stand it. I tightened everything down and it was still there. Put the new window regulator in, everything was good, and the DC motor didn't work. And I tested continuity. It was getting power, it's just the DC motor wasn't working. I put the motor straight up to a battery I got over there, nothing. But I was able to salvage parts off the new regulator to use on my old regulator, which worked fine. Now my window's good to go. So I'm gonna take you over to the window here. I got it taken apart on the inside and a regulator here with some of the adjusting screws and show you exactly the weak points of what makes a wobbly window and the correct way to adjust the height when you put a new one in, or you just want to adjust the height of your C5 window. It's not hard at all to do, and I'll take you over to the car and I'll show you that now. All right, it's really dark over here, so bear with me, but I'm using a little flashlight I got. So here's the window regulator that I got that was dead on arrival. It's actually upside down, but you get the idea. 2 tracks over here, boom, boom, and they got these little guides on them right there that actually go up and down via cable that runs through the motor right there. That spins a little doodad in there, spins the cable down here, and then this runs on a track up and down. I did take these off. I was gonna use them on my old regulator, but I didn't need to. I only needed the little pad that came on there, which I'll show you that in a second. I got this from an Amazon vendor. I should have known better. It was like 40, 50 bucks. But I didn't really want to take the time to return it, so I just salvaged parts off it and used it on the old one. Now, here is the window, obviously inside the door. When you put your window back in after you place the regulator, or if you're just trying to adjust it, you want to have your window about halfway up. It'll just make your life a little easier to work, but for my purposes right now, showing you what's going on, down here is just fine. Right here is the same guy as right there. You see it's got little bump stops on it right there and right there. When you adjust the window height, you want the window to rest on the bolt right there, that large one. You want it to rest on this bolt on both sides. You're gonna have on your stock window this little sticker, like aluminum looking sticker, that should butt right up against to this. That'll tell you your window's in the right spot, left and right. You can adjust it left and right. I wouldn't do more than 1 millimeter at a time, but that'll tell you the window is good to go as far as left and right. It should rest on this bolt down there. And actually you can go ahead and tighten it at this point once you have it where you want it. Now the key to moving the window up and down, you got about 1.5 inches you can manipulate, is just this little jack screw down here. It's a little tiny, like 4 millimeter, I think, socket. It takes a little baby socket. It's got little grooves on it, so it takes a lot of turns to move this thing up and down. If you want this thing to sit higher, simply move this up. This is, again, your bump stop. So it's going to stop up here where this is. If you want it to sit lower, simply push it up, if that makes sense. And you can try it a couple times, one way or the other, and it'll tell you the direction you need to go. And again, there's one on the other side too. The speaker is in the way. Oh, I want the JBL speaker, by the way. They sound pretty good. Just to recap real quick, the window should sit on the bolt snugly, and use this jack screw right there to manipulate the window height in its resting up position. Now, in the very extreme case where this thing is bottomed out and you still need to go up just a hair, at this point, sure, you can move this up, unscrew it, bring the window up with the bolt underneath it. If you need to, I don't ever see a time you would ever have to on the C5 platform. Whoever had my car before had two no-nos going on. They had this all the way up, so it had less clamping force in here, and this was adjusted way out of whack. Whoever did the previous regulator or window got replaced, I'm not sure. Secondly, what I used off of my new window regulator is these clamps right there. There's one like this, and there's one with a little rubber tab on the other side. Both were dry rotted. So the new regulator had the new little clamps on them with a new pad, so I used that. I could have went to any parts store or got some piece of rubber gasket or a piece of rubber hose, probably just cut it to fit, glued it on there, and it would have worked just fine. So my issue was that all four, or I guess both the clamps, the rubber on both sides was worn out, and these windows were sitting way too high in the clamp. So it had less clamping force, and it was dry rotted. So there was plenty of play in there, and no matter how much I tightened this damn thing, it still felt like a wet noodle. And that fixed all of my woes. It closes so good now. My passenger side's never been an issue. I mean, a passenger side gets to use probably 1/10 the amount of the driver's side does. But yeah, please don't adjust your window height by just using this. Please use the jack screw on both sides first. One other thing I wanted to cover is that you can control how tight the window fits snug against your trim, and that's with this nut down here. If you move this out that way, it's going to fit more snug against your window. If you bring it closer to you, it's going to have less tightness up against your window seal, if that makes sense. On this side is underneath. Not sure if you can see it. There's a little gasket right there, but underneath, on this side, there's just one screw, and you can move it in and out, if that makes sense. And you want it to mirror the other side, the distance you're making it travel. I would say how it comes stock, the window regulator looks fine. It's got about 1.5 inches of distance right there. And for me, that's okay. And again, you can play with that to your liking, how it feels around your windowsill. Maybe if you got brand new weather stripping, you want to bring it out a little bit. Maybe go ahead and push it outward just a hair. So that's your one adjustment for how snug it is against your weather stripping. That's to adjust the tightness on your window, that bolt right there, and your jack screws on both sides. You want these to be pretty even, will control your up and down movement of your window. Kind of a lot to cover for, I mean, it's pretty simple. I made this sound a lot more complicated than it is, but yeah, you got a little clamp right there. See the rubber clamp, jack screw, and you're in and out right there. Boom, done. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all buttoned up. I'll show you how it sounds. I wish I had it before with the window up. It sounded like doo-doo. I'll do that real quick. I'll be back. Such a silly thing to get excited about, but all right, window down. Now from inside. I know it seems stupid, but it's so much more satisfying. It feels almost like a premium car in here. I'll go ahead and put the window up and show you how that sounds too. So nice. So gratifying. Well, I hope you enjoyed window repair 101 for a wobbly situation. And also if you're trying to do a window regulator, it should probably get you figured out too. A total of 7 bolts to do it. Super easy to do. And there's no shortage of window regulator things related. But yeah, if you got a wobbly window in your C5, those little clamps, and make sure it's all the way down in the clamp housing. And the clamps have proper rubber and you're good to go. So cool. I have so many Corvette stuff I got to do. I'm so far behind getting stuff installed. And I've been doing little nickel dime stuff that's not that exciting. So I haven't really been uploading it. And again, work's been crazy. So hopefully I'll get another Corvette video with some decent substance this week. Time permitting. So, all right, guys, go enjoy your weekend. I'll catch you guys next time. Mark out.